Hello, I'm Jaivee Kagalwala. As a passionate sustainability enthusiast, I founded Ecopathy. Today, I am back with a new episode on sustainable architecture. This field plays a pivotal role and aims to reduce embodied and operational carbon by minimizing energy consumption, using renewable energy sources, and reducing waste. We have discussed all these key principles in this episode. So let us dive into this topic with architect Mahesh Nagecha. He has been in this field since the past 35 years. He is also a professor at Skett College, Surat. During this episode, we talk about architecture from a sustainability point of view. What might be its problems? Managing the waste through the execution process, and why sustainable architecture is the future. Before you enjoy this episode, please go subscribe to my channel and follow ecopathy.jaivee क्योंकि वहाँ पे हम बहुत सारी छोटी छोटी क्लिप्स डालते हैं ताकि आप कम समय में काफ़ी ज़्यादा नॉलेज गेन कर पाए. So without any further ado, let's begin. So what are the problems with sustainable architecture?
Actually, vernacular architecture, if we talk about the past, we talk about the ancestors. They were sensitive enough to understand the nature.
So in short, making the mother nature feel that even you are included and also including our needs into it.
So that means if I understand, if I have to breathe a good air, I really plant good trees, where it purifies the air quality. You know that rain and rivers give a pure water.
Hello sir, how are you doing?
Hi Jaivee, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Yes, tell me.
Alright, so what does sustainability mean to you?
Oh, it's a great question, huh, Jaivee? Accessibility to me is, if I talk about my professions, how sensitive I am in terms of whatever the act of mine in my profession. And I'm talking about building making. So if I become sensitive enough to use of whatever the resources available nearby me, and I don't use something which is really going to disturb the Mother Earth. For example, I don't use excessive wood. So suppose that means if I cut less wood, I think I'm saving the nature. If I design a building which is adequate for the purpose, suppose for example, I'm creating a space like a bedroom, right? I can design a bedroom which is too huge, but and at the same time I can design a bedroom which is very comfortable to live in, right? So if I design something which is comfortable to live in, means I am giving you all comforts of a need of yours, and I'm using material which is adequate to construct that much, versus I'm being very lavish. So I'm going to use excess. So as soon as I think about excess, I think I'm hampering the nature. I'm hampering the Mother Earth, overloading of my need. The need is very good, but greed is very bad. So nowadays, what is happening is we become greedy, not needy. So there we have to be. And sustainability is nothing but it tells us you be a person to fulfill your needs, but don't go to a greed. If I need a 1 BHK house, I will be happy because we are only two, right? Then I don't create a palace. So that's the way I understand sustainability. Do it adequate. At what?
So what are the problems with sustainable architecture?
Jaivee, I tell you, there's no problem with the sustainability. The question is the sensitivity and understanding. Actually, vernacular architecture, if we talk about, or we talk about the past, we talk about the ancestors. They were sensitive enough to understand the nature, and they work accordingly. But present, we forgot, and that's why we have to talk about sustainability so much. It's not a problem. Its question is that people are not aware of. So now it's a reminder to go back and to be sensitive towards the mother nature, and really try to understand, the natural resources and consume and use as per need. Come out from the excess. I'm not saying less. Excess. That's what. So I don't see the problem. It's a sensitivity towards the mother nature.
Right. So, in short, making the mother nature feel that even you are included and also including our needs into it.
Correct. So when I'm saying the nature means we the human being depend upon what? Air, water, food, and everything, right? So that means if I understand, if I have to breathe a good air, so that means I have to not to emit a bad air, which we do by the means of vehicles and things. So if I sensitive enough not to produce so much carbon, into the atmosphere, I really plant good trees. I can have a excellent indoor plants in my house where it purify the air quality. So if I become sensitive towards that, I think I have done it, and I will be better. I will survive. So I'm talking about air. Same with the water. If there is no polluted water, and if you know that rain and rivers give a pure water, but we the human pollute it. So if I pollute less, I think I don't need aquaguard and so much gazettes to purify the water,
Right.
which we don't do in past. But nowadays we have to do it because we are polluting. How we pollute? We really put so many chemicals in it. We really use we throw our all dirt into the clean and neat water. So that's a problem. And food consume as required rather than excess. A junk food, preserved food, how it is. And people are wasting a lot of food. So instead of that, if I be sensitive in terms of use of the food as my need and requirement, I think I'm doing good. I'm not
Right.
overburdening the nature, no? So
Huh.
that's what.
I truly agree to your point.
Yeah.
Right. So, what are the problems with sustainable architecture that you have faced?
Yeah, well, I will say it's not a problem. Sustainability is not a problem. It's question of an understanding. And the problem can be of two ways. One is the problem of awareness. Okay, sometimes unknowingly we don't know okay, how I have consumed something which is not to be done. For example, I design a building of a certain stories, and I have provided lift just for the ground plus one story. I provide a lift, but needed. Yeah, anybody can climb one stair. But when I'm providing the lift, means I have to use lift manufacturing of the lift. I have to use power supply. I am using a space excess. So then the things become very difficult. So I need my common sense or my sensitivity towards not to do something which is excess. That is one. And the problem in terms of because we are living in an era of AI, 21st century. So nowadays, if I wanted to be very sensitive and I wanted to be very correct, so then there are a lot of programs available. So if I understand how to operate that program and how to analyze that program, and if I can do the things as per the need, for example, I'm designing one classroom. I know that the classroom of a 25 student who are going to study in that classroom, what light condition I need in that room, that I can calculate by the program in terms of okay, what is a natural light is I'm borrowing from the windows.
Right.
So if I am borrowing the natural light, so how much artificial I need to add where the student become comfortable to read and write and observe the board. So that means there are programs available. So if I learn those programs, if I learn those analysis of that program, then also I can do a lot. But challenges for us is how comfortable I am in terms of using those programs. I'm
Right.
talking about my age people have a little difficulty.
Huh.
But present youth they are using very well, and it's not a problem. But it's just it's understanding or your concern, your sensitive towards the nature. That's the case. And sometimes people are doing, we architects sometimes believe in express ourselves very loud. Well, I wanted to create an iconic things. And that iconic make me sometimes to do something which is not right. So that is a problem. So it's individuals.
All right. So moving further, I feel that you have talked a lot about AI in terms of programs, but is ever technology helping in sustainable point of view?
Yes, very much, very much. I tell you, that's what I said. If you're sensitive enough and if you know the present time, okay, what is available. Like, for example, I tell you, okay, I'm sure that you've heard about automation.
Right.
Right. So how the automation works? Like, for example, we have a house, we have all the different spaces, right? So right now we are occupying this space. I need a light here, right? But I don't need a light in other rooms, right? So what is happening okay, when I'm here, my lights will be on here, but other places will be off. Even my air condition or my fan will be on in this space, other space will be off. But that is possible by means of automation. So that means there are sensors available which sense the occupancy and then it is operate. So that means okay, they will switch off and switch on as per the presence of the number of people and presence of the people. That way it will be activated. It's very much possible by means of automation. Even I can switch off, switch on by means of mobile. If I want to be comfortable in certain manner, I can switch on my certain lights or certain things in advance by the means of mobile.
Right. So while executing a site, how do you manage the scraps that are being there into the execution?
Okay. So first of all, I will correct you. When you use the word scrap, why I'm saying that the scrap is a terminology when sometimes we use in automobiles because the scrap of a car. But our case, we talks about debris. We talk about demolished materials. So I will say that okay, on a site when I'm executing, I have to understand the concept of reuse and recycle.
So using the three R's: reduce, reuse, recycle.
Correct. So, for example, a wood. So that means I'm not going to recycle the wood. I'm going to reuse the wood because I can use the wood as it is. But
Right.
suppose I have demolished the building, so my bricks and everything is going to be, like it's going to be a waste. So I can grind my all debris and I can create a new bricks. What the people are doing it. I can, use to harden my floor by using that debris. So that means I'm reusing the material and sometimes I refurbish the material in other way. So you have to reuse and you have to
Recycle.
recycle. Yes. So sometimes I recycle, sometimes I reuse it, and that is very very important, right?
So the usage of three R's is basically very important.
It is. It is. Yeah. Recycle, reuse,
And reduce.
reduce. Exactly. So reduce is temperament of use, not excess. That's what I taught.
Yes.
Yes, and reuse means ke wood example what I kept. To be same thing, I can really again use it for the purpose. And recycle means the same material I can convert into the purpose where I can change plastic. People melt the plastics and reuse it. Possible. Or recycle, not reuse, but recycle. Yeah, it's possible.
Right. So, why is sustainable architecture the future?
Oh yes. Say if I become sensitive enough in terms of architecture, so the future means I'm talking about okay, right now I'm using all the resources. I use everything, there is nothing has been saved for the future. So how the people will survive?
That's
how the
true.
people will live? To construct something, they need, they need water to survive. They need a pure air to survive. They need wood to use again and again. So what I'm saying is it's very important for the future that if I become sensitive enough in terms of understanding the purpose of sustainability, and sustainability I will say like nothing but a sensitivity towards a mother earth and the nature. So I don't overburden the nature. As I said initially, if I consume the exactly my need, I think I'm saving a lot of things. And penny save is penny earn. Yes. Something like that. And if there is there, then future will utilize. Our grandparents and our ancestors, they save a lot of money, and that's make us comfortable to live. That's the nature of saving.
Hmm.
So here we are talking about saving of nature. That is sustainability. So sustainability knowledge or the sensitivity towards sustainability is very important for the better future.
That's true. So, lastly, do you have any suggestions to pass it down to the next generation regarding sustainability or how to improve your lifestyle regarding sustainability?
Yes. What I believe is nowadays, we live so artificial. For example, I don't train my body to live in a natural environment. A little heat will make me to switch on the AC. Rather than can I make my body to survive into the kind of atmosphere?
Hmm.
Because Almighty has given us such an excellent machine. If you can accept, if your mind works, okay, this is fine, I'm fine.
Huh.
The word I am fine make you to comfortable. But as soon as your mind says, I'm not comfortable, it's too hot, too heat, you will switch on to the AC. You will, take a bath 2, 3 times, wasting the water so much. Like, I will tell the youth, okay, try to be with whatever the nature is, enjoy the present moment in terms of everything,
Hmm.
situation, atmosphere, coolness, wetness, whatever it is. If I'm in the morning, let me enjoy my morning sun. And if I'm in afternoon, I can understand, let me have a little shade so I can protect myself.
Right.
And fine, and I can survive with 5 dress of clothes to live comfortable and beautiful life.
Hmm.
But youth nowadays have 50 dresses,
Huh.
sports separate, night dress separate, party wear separate. So that means that we have so much classifications and we wanted to use so much, which I'm saying not to do.
Okay.
So there the message to the youth is, okay, yeah, you enjoy your life and you're supposed to enjoy your life, but think, think about what you're doing is really right or just question, okay, you are not overburdening the Mother Earth.
Hmm.
Because to produce 5 more dress, I need more cotton. I need to grow more cotton. So it's everything, I'm overburdening.
Right.
So can we do that?
Hmm.
Food I say so many times. We have a habit to waste so much.
Huh.
So not to do that, right?
Hmm. So, understanding all the sustainable development goals and adding them into your lifestyle makes a huge difference, not to the mother nature, but also to the community around us.
Yes, yes, yes. Even when you say the community around us, I was just forgot to tell you that a sensitive person. So when we design, the simple example of a water saving, I can tell you. Okay, if I'm designing a colony, so there is a system called saving of water. Like we're talking about two aspects. One is solar energy, another is water recycle or recharging the water.
Hmm.
So I'm talking about water recharging. One is I'm taking the water and putting to the ground, so my groundwater will be improvised. That's one. But the second system is also very nice. I can convert my 100 liter of water to 255 liter of a water. You will wonder what I'm talking about.
Huh.
I'm just talking about, okay, I have a pure water which I'm using for drinking and cooking purpose.
Right.
I'm using for the bathing.
Huh.
So when I'm using my water for the bathing, that water I can collect. The purpose is the when we bathe, there is only a shock will be added to that water. So that water is really, really very nice water, which can be utilized for my flush. Because the flush water with a little detergent is more better to clean the all faucets.
Right.
So I'm using it again, and when I'm using it again, so that means I'm not using the pure water. So I have saved the water.
Huh.
And the water which I have already used for the flush, and when it really sent to the septic tank and then the water discharge, there are a little bit treatment, with treatments I can do. That water I send it to a garden. Again, that water will be really, really good for as a with fertilizer. It's very good for the plant. So that means the same water I'm using third time.
Oh,
You got my point.
right.
And I'm not saying 300 liter, I'm saying
3.
275 liter. The reason being is, first time when I collect, there will be some loss in terms of evaporations and also too little spoil. Second time again the same thing. So if you do the calculation, mathematical calculation, you will come to a conclusion. Okay, yes, it's become 245 liters. That means I have saved 175 liters water, and that's the great help.
Right.
I am not overburdening rivers and this dam to be constructed so many. So
Huh.
that is possible. But that is possible in we, the professional, has to understand these ideas,
Huh.
which is possible.
Right.
Yeah, for that, sometimes capital cost will be there
Huh.
because you need a tank to collect bathing water.
Huh.
You need to do little bit process. Then again, you need another tank to collect tertiary water, and then you will send to the garden. So you will add little capital cost, but at large is beneficial. So that's the way it is, right?
Right. So I feel, as you have mentioned a lot about adequateness and at the same time lessening your demands, focusing more on your needs,
Yes.
I feel this would be a huge help to the community.
Yes. We will think about, we will understand the needs, but we will, restrain from the greed. That's all.
Huh.
And then we have done it. I think we have contributed. That's enough. Not an issue.
All right. So thank you so much, sir.
Yes, my pleasure, dear.
Thank
Fine.
you. Thank you so much for watching the video all the way through the end. Before you leave this episode, like, subscribe, comment and share it with at least one person जिसको इस conversation से ideas मिले और वो ideas वे implement करें. Because one idea is enough to turn around your life, people's life, your family's life, and your country's progression as well. Until then, keep embracing sustainability, and I'll see you next time.